Hi everyone. Now I have a fiction story for you about seeds. This one is called The Big Seed. And it's a made-up story, a fiction story, but it's about seeds. As you know, we're starting to study about seeds and plants. This one is called The Big Seed by Ellen Howard, illustrated by Lillian Hoban. You might recognize her artwork. She has done lots of children's books, Lillian Hoban that is. The Big Seed. The Big Seed by Ellen Howard, illustrated by Lillian Hoban. Bess was the smallest child in her class. No one was smaller. Not one boy, not one girl. When everyone crowded around the big table, Bess was too small to see over their heads. One day, Miss Gilligan said that spring was coming. It's time to choose seeds to plant, she said. Bill shoved in front of Bess at the table. Out of my way, said Bill. Pearl jostled Bess with her round, dimpled elbow. I want radish seeds, said Pearl. Not fair, said Bess. Miss Gilligan was telling about the seeds, but Bess didn't listen. She ran to her and pulled on her arm. No fair, said Bess. I always have to go last. There are plenty of seeds, said Miss Gilligan. What kind of seeds do you want? Bess looked at the piles of seeds on the table. Beside each pile was a bright seed packet. One packet showed carrots, big and orange, as long and as thin as Bill. Bill was going to take the carrot seeds, which were tiny and flat. The second seed packet showed big red radishes, as plump and as round as Pearl. Pearl was taking the radish seeds, which were little. The third seed packet showed yellow flowers. They looked small, like Bess, but the seeds were big. I want this kind, said Bess. She took a big seed. Bess planted her seed in a cut-off milk carton. She put it by the window where the sun would make it warm. At home, Bess told her family, I planted a seed. That's nice, dear, said her mother. Take off your boots before you walk on the rug. Big deal, said Cindy, Bess's big sister. But her stepfather Charlie put down his book. What kind of seed? He asked. A big seed, said Bess. What will grow from it? Asked Charlie. Bess thought and thought. She hadn't been listening when Miss Gilligan was talking, but she did remember the seed had a packet picture. Small yellow flowers, she said. Marigolds? Asked Charlie. That sounded right to Bess. Yeah, marigolds, she said. Did you ever see a marigold? Outside, the sun shone more and more often. The daffodils bloomed and the green grass grew. In the classroom, Bess and her classmates watered their seeds whenever the soil was dry. What are you growing, Bess? Said Bill. Yellow flowers, said Bess. One day a little green shoot poked up out of the soil in Bess's milk carton. A little green shoot poked out of the soil in Pearl's carton, too. Look how my radish is growing, said Pearl. My flower's growing, too, said Bess. It's bigger than your radish. Bess wondered about that. Are small yellow flowers supposed to be bigger than big red radishes? She asked Miss Gilligan. But Miss Gilligan was handing out worksheets. It's time for spelling, Bess. Go sit down to your seat. Some milk cartons had 2 plants. Some milk cartons had 3. Bess only had 1 plant, but it was big. The plants sprouted leaves. Bess and her classmates turned the milk cartons every day so the plants would grow straight. Bess's plant was the biggest of them all. Are small yellow flowers big at first? She asked. So Bess is being very curious. But Miss Gilligan was saying that they should take their plants home. Put them in your gardens, she said. Summer is coming and school will soon be out. Bess took her milk carton home. I have to put my plant in the garden, Bess told her mother. "That's nice, dear," said Mother, "but right now I need you to try on these pants." "I have to put my plant in the garden," Bess told Cindy. "Good," said Cindy. "That'll keep you out of my hair for a while." Oh, sisters. "I have to put my plant in the garden," Bess told Charlie. "Your marigold?" "Well, the trowel and the watering can are in the shed." So Bess took her milk carton out to the garden. She dug a hole with a trowel. A trowel is like a really small garden shovel. She put the plant in the hole and she patted the soil around the plant. She sprinkled it with water. Every summer day the sun shone on Bess's plant. Every day she watered it. The plant grew. This picture reminds me of the old story called Jack and the Beanstalk. Have you ever heard that story? Jack's plant grew and grew and grew too. "My marigold is getting really big," said Bess. "That's nice, dear," said Mother. "So what?" said Cindy. "You must be taking good care of it," Charlie said. And the plant grew and grew. "I think my marigold is getting too big," said Bess. "Oh, I shouldn't think so, dear," said Mother. Said Cindy. I'll come in a while to see," Charlie said. But he forgot. And the plant grew. "How big is a marigold before it blooms?" Bess asked her mother. "Not very big," said her mother. "Don't worry, dear." "How big is a marigold before it blooms?" Bess asked Cindy. "How should I know?" said Cindy. "How big is a marigold before it blooms?" Bess asked Charlie. "Why don't we go take a look at it?" Charlie said. I love how Bess keeps asking questions. She doesn't give up. Out in the garden, Charlie looked at Bess's plant. "My marigold is really big." Bess was actually feeling worried. She saw that a smile was pulling Charlie's mouth lopsided. "It is big," said Charlie. "But is it too big?" said Bess. "Well, it's too big for a marigold, Bess," Charlie said. "But if it is a sunflower, it is just the right size." "A sunflower?" Bess said, surprised. "Yeah," said Charlie, "and your sunflower's blossom will make seeds for the birds." Bess thought about birds eating seeds from her flower that it had made, and she began to smile. Outside, the days were getting cool. The grass turned yellow, the leaves turned red. Inside, Mother got out Bess's school clothes. So now we're in the season of fall. Remember, back at school, it was springtime when they planted the seeds. She watched her seed grow and grow all through the summer, and now it's time to go back to school. "Autumn is coming," she said. "We'll have to go shopping. You've grown too big for these clothes." "Too big," said Bess. "I'm not too big. I'm too small." "Why, Bess," said Mother, "you're not too small." "I'm shorter than Bill, and I'm skinnier than Pearl." "That's true," Mother said. "But you are not Bill, and you are not Pearl. You are your own dear Bess." On the first day of school, Bill and Pearl came by Bess's house to walk with her. They too had grown bigger. She took them to her garden. "See my sunflower?" she said. "Ooh, it sure grew tall," said Bill. "It's taller than me, and I'm too tall." "Its blossom is rounder than me," said Pearl, "and I'm too round." "You're not too tall," Bess said to Bill. "You're not too round," she said to Pearl. "And I'm not too small either. I'm just the right size for me." Boys and girls, stay curious and keep on reading. Thanks for joining me.